A good IPR regime is basically like it's good policies, trade policies and rules that make it possible, that are ensuring that people, especially the less privileged, the poor, have good access to seed, have good access to medicine, are easily, for example, let's take an example, ARVs. If, for example, to now, currently, Uganda was unable to manufacture ARVs, that would be a poor IPR regime. But because of the fact that we negotiated and we said no, let Uganda have the capacity, be allowed to manufacture cheaper versions of ARVs. Now, under simple aquatic chemicals, we are able to manufacture that. That is a good IPR regime, that we have been able to be allowed to manufacture medicines which are important in addressing our, we call them life-saving essential medicines, which grant a right to life. SEATINI has a big role to play in the IPR and human rights because we are a trade organization, and we have realized that you cannot separate trade from human rights. And unfortunately, currently, because of strong intellectual property rights, be it in medicine, be it in seed, when we are unable to ensure that intellectual property rights are not allowing, for example, smallholder farmers to save, use, utilize, and share seed, if we are ensuring that the current rules that look at IPR are not supportive of people to be able to access cheap medicines, then it affects their right to food, right to health, right to life. And so that is why, as I think, we come in that trade, in terms of intellectual property rights, should not make it difficult, should not compromise on people's rights. Every manufacturer of IPR wants a profit, and they always want to sell sell pharmaceutical products at higher prices, which of course makes it difficult for majority of our countries to access these essential medicines. So it is important to ensure that you negotiate rules, IPR rules, intellectual property rules, which make it possible for countries, poor countries, to be able to utilize flexibilities, to be able to manufacture generic versions of medicines, of seed, in ensuring that then they are able to engage with their citizens, with their citizens who are poor, to ensure that the poor people are able to access drugs, are able to utilize the seed, are able to. So that is why IPR is important when we talk about pharmaceuticals, that pharmaceuticals, if you have rules which are strong, then you make access to medicine, life-saving medicine, challenging, more expensive. And if you have good IPR rules, then you make it access to medicines more cheaper and more accessible by the people.